Hello Internet and welcome to the Half-Life Alyx review show. I had to be honest with you, I got kind of bored of VR for a long time because the games just weren't exciting. But when I found out Half-Life Alyx was coming out, that made me break out the old life. And I'm happy to say I am not disappointed in the slightest. They did a great job so far of making me really feel super duper immersed into the game and that you're in an actual world and not just standing in a room shooting at waves and waves of the same damn shit.
We did it.
We sure did, Alex. I really like all of the character building stuff, and this isn't the first VR game that has let you build your character up, but this seems like special. And the freaking puzzles, I love the puzzles so much because I'm really bad at puzzles and that kind of thing, and this is like just easy enough that I get to figure it out after just a little bit of fiddling with it, and I'm like, oh hell yeah, I'm not completely freaking moronic at all. And like, I even have stopped myself from getting on the web to find out the solutions of puzzles, which usually after a few minutes I'm like, yep, I'm an idiot, I'm never going to figure this out, I'll just look it up on the internet. The puzzle difficulty is exactly enough where I'm like, okay, don't go to the web yet, just look at it and think about it for a second and you'll figure it out. And so far this has been the very best at immersion. You really forget that you're in an alternate world. Like, it just makes this world real to you. A great example here is this was Skylar's first run, and this game is so intense you can see the person actually getting in and doing what they're supposed to do, because your brain forgets that you're playing a game entirely, and you jump around and are just basically terrified. Which brings me to my next point. I made a video earlier, I'll try and link it in the description, like 4 years ago in 2016, about how Half-Life 2 had the right format for virtual reality because you had to follow along the non-player characters to know what was going on. There's no cut screens, there's no real hints. Although this one gives you hints on controls, but there's no like quest menu that you can bring up that tells you what you can do. The only way to follow along with the story is to actually engage and watch and listen to the non-player characters. This works so well in VR. I just can't get over that more people haven't really messed with this. And with Half-Life Alyx, they did the same as in Half-Life 2, even more so, where you really have to be completely engaged with the different artifacts and people and Combine to know exactly what's going on. You can't just phone it in, you have to be completely engaged. Now granted, I haven't played any real VR games in a couple of years, so there may be other examples that this one does, but this does what I've been begging for VR to do. You actually feel like you're in a city. It's fleshed out, the interaction is very good, and things are just so huge. The big monsters really feel like big monsters. The gravity gloves are so cool. It makes the act of picking up ammo a whole minigame unto itself, and it's a blast. You want to make sure that you go through every room and find all the ammo and resin and health that you can. It's an issue, but it's generally all over the place if you just basically look for it. And I don't mind, because flicking stuff's fun. There's a few ways that you can move to your taste. I prefer the teleport, although I'm going to maybe start working out how to quick move, because generally I like the quick move kind of thing. Like, you just push forward, and whichever way you're looking, you go forward, and I'd like to be able to get better at that, but unfortunately I played through for the first couple of hours with teleportation, and now it's hard to unlearn. This is one of the few times, this is actually the only game where I was going to say to my general audience and the world at large that you should go out and get a VR headset. You don't need to get the very, very top-end computer and the very top-end headset. In fact, I pretty much only have the very bottom barrel PC and the original HTC Vive from 2016, like the very first one. So it's like the very bottom end of VR, and I have to play this on pretty much all low settings, and it doesn't matter. The game on all low settings is so much fun, and it's still so gorgeous that you completely forget about anything like that. That like, oh, this has screen door, or this doesn't have the clarity and resolution that it should. Like, it doesn't matter. Does not matter at all, because the game is such a masterpiece. So, you're getting a stimulus check, or you have a couple bucks saved up, or you feel like maybe committing crimes to go out and buy some video games. Like, right now, this is the video game to buy. And while you're at it, if you're playing Half-Life Alyx and you love it, look into hacking that Half-Life 2 so that it'll run in virtual reality. You used to be able to, I don't know if you still can, but you used to be able to, with a keyboard, mouse, and a headset, like a VR headset, be able to play Half-Life 2, and it's awesome too if you don't get VR sick. I didn't get VR sick at all, ever, because I was a sailor, so that really didn't apply to me, but if you don't get VR sick, you should definitely check out Half-Life 2 VR, and like, absolutely, if you've got to rob a bank or an old lady, go out and get a VR headset so that you can play this and just see how amazing it is to really play.
Guns need ammo. Here you go.